Hi everybody, and welcome to North Country Ham. My name is Aaron, KD2RSS. Today's video I want to do a little thing I call What's in the Box. An unboxing is something I just picked up for my ham radio hobby, and I think I'm going to be pretty happy with this. It's something new for myself, so stick around. Alright, welcome back everybody. Thanks for sticking around. And today I want to do a little unboxing of a new piece of gear I got for the shack. As you can see, I got my box. Came in the mail. I'm going to open it up and show you what I got inside and go over a little quick overview of it, and we'll go and probably try some operation of it as well. So let's transition here. All right, open up my knife here, cut the tape. So this actually came from Ham Radio Outlet. I got this from HRO. Open up the box here. Oh, in here I've got a cable for an LDG Electronics. It's a Y accessory 3-foot cable. And the other item I got in the box is as you can see here. So I've got an LDG AT-100ProII desktop antenna tuner. Now this is an automatic antenna tuner. The one I've currently got hooked up to everything is an MFJ 941E Versa tuner, manual tuner, and it also can set up through for a bypass mode too. So you know, I'm trying out different things. I wanted to try an automatic antenna tuner that would work with most any of the radios you can get. So that way, if I wanted to, I could take this into the field if I pick up another radio besides my 991A, and not have to manually tune as much, because I'm still trying to figure that out. I may not be the most proficient at manual tuning. Set that there, power cord, and of course it comes with the manual. Leave that right in the box. Okay, so obviously it's got its power cord here. I'll probably hook this up with some Anderson power poles, and maybe I'll snip it at a short lead. Put some eyelet grommets on this side to the back of the power supply, and then Anderson power pole to dual each side. That way I can unhook it and take it wherever I want and quickly plug it back in. Doesn't weigh much at all. So let's try to adjust this here so we can So you can see here, buttons, you know, kind of feel, you can definitely feel the clicks, and everything's nice and smooth on it. It's a metal case. Doesn't weigh much. I don't know what the actual weight is on it, but it doesn't weigh much at all. So obviously as you're tuning, it'll kind of tell you how many watts you're putting out and what your SWR is and what you're doing. If it's in a bypass mode or in on which antenna. And you look at the back here, you got antenna 1 and 2, transmit, a ground, your obviously your cable here from goes into the radio, and then your power supply there. So there's not much to it. Overall, you're not talking much. You're only talking, you know, if you figure from the back of your hookups in the back, you're only talking 8 inches to the face, as you can see here. I mean, the case itself is only about just over 7.5. So if you figure to the back of all your plugs and leads, you're only talking about 8 inches total depth. You're looking at, you know, about 5.5 inches width of it, and the whole thing only stands just over 2 inches tall. The whole thing itself is about 2.25 inches tall. It might just be just over that, you know, on the bench on the counter. So not too bad at all. Let's see here. Get it so it can lay flat here. I'll get this hooked up in my shack. So being an automatic tuner, and it basically will semi-automatic antenna tuning across the entire HF spectrum, plus 6 meters at power levels up to 125 watts. It'll tune dipoles, verticals, Yagis, or virtually any coax-fed antenna. So this will go up to 125 watts. You know, connected up to a 12 volt DC, connect cable to a DC source between 11 and 16 volts, 500 milliamp. So, and we'll kind of, once I get this hooked up, I'll do a test run using it so we can see. So it's a 1 to 125 watt power range, 30 watts PSK in digital modes, and 100 watts on 6 meter. So it's only rated for 30 watts on digital mode, so I probably, if I'm using it, definitely have to turn my wattage down. Latching relays for ultra low power operation, 4,000 memories for instantaneous band changing. It's got a built-in 2-port antenna switch with 2,000 memories each. Tuning time is 0.2 to 5 seconds full tune, 0.2 seconds memory tune, and 1.8 to 54 megahertz coverage, and tunes 6 to 100 or 6 to 1,000 ohm loads, and then which is 16 to 150 on 6 meter. The LED bar graph displays your power level, SWR, and status. Antenna indicator LED show currently selected antenna. And user selectable operation parameters, auto or semi, 125 to 12.5 watt scale, and more. So obviously your function button here will activate your secondary functions on any of your other buttons. The obviously this antenna here chooses whether you're on antenna 1 or antenna 2. The C up manually increases the capacitance. The C down manually decreases. The L up manually increases inductance. L down manually decreases inductance. Tune initiates memory or full tuning cycle. Momentary push places tuner in bypass. So if you do momentary push, it'll put the whole tuner in bypass. Power meter, the bar graph display indicates forward power in 0 to 12.5 and 0 to 125 volt ranges. The SWR meter bar graph displays indicates SWR during tuning or transmission. Bypass LED lights when in bypass mode. Antenna 2 LED lights when antenna 2 is selected. So when you're using it, if you've got two antennas hooked up, if that's not lit, you're on antenna 1. When it's lit, you're on antenna 2. Pretty simple as far as that goes on the operation and setup of it. Obviously, you connect your antennas to the back transmit or receive, ANT1 and ANT2, and then from your radio goes to the TX. So you go from the transceiver to TX, and then ANT1 and ANT2 go to your antennas, obviously, you know, as all of us are used to setting up. And then for the Yaesu radios, your YACC cable, and plug the red end marked radio into the transceiver's ACC port. Plug the black end of your YCC cable into the jack marked radio on the rear of the tuner. So that's why I picked this up. So the black will plug right into here, ACC on the back of the tuner. The red, I'll plug it into the ACC part on the back of my radio, and away we go. Relatively simple hookup. Kind of shows it here. I wanted to show this to you guys just so you can see. So obviously your 12 volt going to the DC from the back of the transceiver, antenna out to transmit, and then out to antenna 1 and 2. So you can only hook one transmit to this out to two antennas, which is essentially about the same thing as what I've got on my MFJ 941 manual tuner. So for Yaesu, you would connect your radio in and ACC out with the ACC interface cable here, and then you'd still hook up your antenna to your transmit out to your two antennas. There is an ICOM interface cable too if you're got an ICOM radio. So you just want to make sure what radio you've got, and of course you got your auto to your ground. So I'll get all that figured out and hooked up for it and try to do a little testing, and I'll try to get that on a video showing me testing it. So, and there's that. So that's a quick little overview of the tuner, and you know, as you can see, definitely doesn't weigh much at all, and I'm kind of anxious to see how it's going to work for me. I may just set this up to use for single sideband phone voice transmissions and use the 941 for my digital. That way I'm only running the wattage that way. So there we go. So I got a new tuner to try out for voice operations, I think, in the shack here. Alright, so I got the auto tuner all set up here with the radio. My plan is currently, whenever I'm doing digital, to go bypass on the auto tuner and use my manual MFJ tuner on the digital mode, and when I'm going to do voice, I'll go bypass on the manual tuner and then go straight to the antenna using the auto tuner on the voice side, just to try it out and see how things are going to work. For right now, I've already set my Versa tuner into bypass on my antenna, and I've kind of tuned into a frequency here on my 991 on 20 meters, 14.240. Been on there for several minutes now. No activity that I'm hearing, so shouldn't have it interfere with anybody there. Let me zoom in a little bit here. So with this, now obviously you can key up and it'll tune as well, or you push tune It should. Well, it must be tuned pretty good for there because it's not adjusting anything. I was trying to, let me try a different frequency that may not be in the menu. You know what, let me do that. I'm going to 17 meters and try that. Uh, 165 is within. So I'll go here, 18.165 on 17 meters. Haven't been on here yet. I don't hear anybody. And it looks like at S1 to the noise floor. Not too bad. See if it'll do a tune on us for us. Is this frequency in use? You can see I'm putting out good power, and it's only showing a 1-to-1, so I'm having to be grabbing frequencies that are already in tune across the band, so it doesn't have to do anything. Is this frequency in use? You can see I'm only showing a 1-to-1, putting out full power here on 17 meters. So let me try a band that I know I'm only in the middle of the band on. Turn the tuner off on the radio. Go up toward the top here. I'll come here to 3.880 on 80 meters. I know my antenna, the way I've got the coils set, I'm pretty much should be a 1-to-1 in the dead center of the band, and it's a very narrow frequency width that I'm in SWR on 80 meters. Just happen to be the way the vertical works. So let's see what it'll do. No, I don't want bypass. I'm not hearing anybody transmitting. Just trying to tune. Is this frequency in use? There we go. It's trying to auto tune. Is this frequency in use? Apparently it won't handle it. Alright, well thanks a lot folks for sticking around. We'll see what else comes around for the shack, and I'll always, you know, as usual, I'll try to share that with you. So I'm kind of sharing my journey and what I'm learning and picking up in the hobby. Maybe that'll help some of you. So with that, I'll say 7-3 and get on the air.